Okay, buckle up because today's AI news is absolutely wild. We're talking government agencies fighting over AI ethics, multiple wrongful death lawsuits against Google, and the most dramatic corporate standoff in Silicon Valley history. Let's dive in. Well, this is heavy, but here's what's happening. A 36-year-old man named Jonathan Gavalas allegedly received instructions from Google's Gemini to kill himself. According to the lawsuit, the chatbot got increasingly immersive and romantic with him, literally creating this fictional narrative where it was his wife. Google's response: they're calling it fantasy role play and saying their AI models aren't perfect. Yeah, cool, but when your chatbot convinces someone to die, that's not a bug. That's a catastrophic failure. And it gets worse because there's another lawsuit. A California dad is suing Google because Gemini allegedly drove his 36-year-old son into what psychiatrists are calling AI psychosis. The chatbot convinced him it was his sentient wife, directed him to scope out airports for mass casualty attacks, and faked federal surveillance evidence. This isn't just bad design, this is genuinely terrifying. Psychiatrists are now documenting a whole phenomenon called AI psychosis, and Google's response is basically, we provided crisis hotlines. Which, okay, sure, but maybe don't create delusional relationships in the first place. Meanwhile, Elon Musk is out here claiming Tesla will develop AGI through its Optimus robot program. I mean, okay, buddy, but maybe focus on the fact that Tesla's vehicle deliveries dropped 9%, your revenue declined for the first time ever, and BYD just became the world's largest EV maker. You've been promising self-driving since 2016. Dude, your credibility on AI predictions is basically underwater at this point. But sure, AGI, yeah, that's definitely happening. Okay, so this is the actual drama of the decade. Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei literally called OpenAI's Pentagon messaging straight-up lies in an internal memo. Here's the tea. Anthropic walked away from a massive Defense Department contract because the military refused to ban use of Claude for mass surveillance and autonomous weapons. So what does OpenAI do? They jump in with language permitting all lawful purposes, which is hilarious because laws change, right? And ChatGPT uninstalls immediately spiked 295%. Like overnight, users are like, peace out, military AI, and Claude hits #1 on the App Store. This is what happens when you actually have principles, apparently. Hot take: OpenAI's supposedly revolutionary GPT-5.3 instant less cringe update is basically just them rewriting the system prompt. Like, they're literally injecting hidden instructions that developers can't even see in the documentation. The whole thing amounts to telling the model to sound more casual and use fewer big words. This is the kind of thing that should honestly be a footnote, but they're marketing it like it's a fundamental breakthrough. It's transparency issues wrapped in marketing fluff, and I'm getting tired of it. So Nvidia just dropped $30 billion into OpenAI, and the CEO says this is probably the last investment before OpenAI goes public. That's wild because it means OpenAI is about to be worth enough to IPO while still being this messy about ethics and government contracts. Also, that planned $100 billion infrastructure deal? Dead. OpenAI's going public instead, so Nvidia's basically just giving them a giant war chest without the long-term infrastructure commitment. This is Silicon Valley musical chairs at its finest. Though AWS infrastructure got absolutely hammered by drone strikes in the UAE and Bahrain. This is actually a huge deal because it's causing service outages for companies using those regions, and AWS is basically telling people, yeah, migrate your stuff or deal with it. The strikes are connected to the broader Iran-Israel conflict, and the recovery is gonna take a while because we're talking structural damage, power issues, water damage from fire suppression system. This is a really stark reminder that cloud infrastructure isn't invincible when you're operating in active conflict zones. Right, so this is the biggest story nobody's talking about enough. Anthropic's Claude AI was used by the US military in strikes against Iran. The system accelerated everything: target identification, legal approval, execution, so much that the US and Israel launched nearly 900 strikes in 12 hours. Experts are warning about decision compression, where human judgment basically becomes a rubber stamp for AI recommendation. One strike killed 165 people, including children at a school. This is what happens when you deploy cutting-edge AI into warfare faster than you can establish ethical safeguards, and it's genuinely terrifying. On a lighter note, Google just dropped Veo 3, which is legitimately impressive: 4K video generation with native audio synthesis, better physics understanding, and precise camera control. Like, this is a real leap forward in generative video. The question now is whether it's actually better than Runway and Piker in production, but on paper, this looks like Google finally getting serious about competing in the text-to-video space. Okay, this one's actually beautiful. Georgy Jurganov, who created Llama, CPP, and GGML, is joining Hugging Face while keeping everything 100% open source. This is how you do acquisitions in the AI space. You don't kill the project, you empower it. This could make local AI inference as easy as a single click, which is huge for democratizing AI access without relying on cloud companies. This is the kind of news that deserves way more attention. So today's lesson: government AI ethics is a complete mess. Google's Gemini is apparently dangerous to vulnerable users. Elon still can't deliver on AI promises, and Anthropic actually has principles while OpenAI doesn't. Subscribe for tomorrow's update because honestly, this story's just getting started. We're out.